Hello, my name is Jeff, and I am a student at Wayne State University Law School. Detroit Housing Help is a project between the law school and Community Development Advocates of Detroit, CDAD. The mission is to provide information on common housing issues. In this video, we will be discussing housing discrimination in Detroit. The first part of the video discusses your rights, and the second part offers some resources for what you can do about it if you believe you have experienced housing discrimination. One note before we get started. The word landlord is used in this video to make things simple, but illegal discrimination can come from an apartment complex, a management company, a resident manager or their staff, real estate agents, and lots of other people involved in housing. Let's start from the top. What is discrimination? Discrimination is when you are treated differently based on something about you, specifically something the government says is illegal to treat differently. For housing discrimination, the government recognizes several classes which are protected. It is illegal to refuse to sell or rent or negotiate housing to someone based on their race, color, national origin, religion, disability, sex, or familial status. Familial status is complicated, but it basically means whether you have kids under 18 living with you. The main federal law that makes it illegal to discriminate based on those protected classes I just mentioned is the Fair Housing Act, the FHA. The FHA basically says you cannot discriminate in advertising, the negotiation process, or the selling or renting of a home, and it gives people living with disabilities the right to make reasonable accommodations and modifications like installing grab bars. There are other federal laws that may protect you, like the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. The federal government also protects people with criminal records that are looking for housing from overly restrictive criminal record policies. At the state level, Michigan has the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act, and locally, Detroit has the Fair Chance Ordinance, which further restricts the use of criminal records for properties with 4 or more units. Now, these laws are really complex and detailed, so we will not talk a lot about the details today. But it is important to know that there are a lot of ways which your right to housing is protected. So what does all this really mean? You have these rights not to be treated differently. Okay, great. But let's be honest. A landlord isn't going to say, I'm not going to rent this apartment to you because you are black, or a woman, or blind. That's just probably not going to happen. What's more likely to happen is that you might notice a difference in the landlord's attitude when you spoke on the phone versus when they saw you for the first time, and all of a sudden there are no available units. Or the landlord might ask you to put a larger security deposit down because you have kids and they might break things. The first case might be discrimination, but it would be difficult to prove without more. The second case is absolutely discrimination and it is illegal. So you have these rights, but you're probably thinking, so what? I don't have a lawyer on standby that I can call to help me anytime someone treats me poorly. You're just trying to find an affordable, safe place to live. You don't have the time or the energy to pick a fight. I hear you. There are some things you can do to protect yourself from landlords getting over on you. First, get everything in writing. If they tell you that you will have to put down more money as a security deposit because you have kids that might ruin things or you're in a wheelchair that might scuff up the walls, get that in writing. Writing doesn't necessarily mean some official document signed by the landlord. A text message, an email, anything will work. If that doesn't work and you can't get them to put something in writing, record the conversation. In Michigan, it is legal to record a conversation without the other person's permission as long as you are part of the conversation. Record the landlord saying that you cannot install a ramp, or that you can't rent the apartment because you have a seeing eye dog, or that you have to give them some sort of sexual favor in order to be considered for the unit. Getting it in writing or recording it gives you the power because now you have evidence of illegal discrimination. Now you are going to need the help of a legal professional. Let's face it, lawyers can be expensive. So where do you go for help? Okay, first things first. Don't tell your landlord you're getting a lawyer. Why? Because the lawyer might want to do some investigation, and it won't help if the landlord knows you are seeking legal help. Next, search for legal aid or advocacy organizations. Legal aid services are organizations that help people who don't have a lot of money with their legal issues. Advocacy organizations know the ins and outs of these issues and can help you decide what's the best thing for you based on your situation. One great organization that you can use as your first step in this process is the Fair Housing Center of Metropolitan Detroit. They can investigate claims of discrimination on your behalf and can assist in filing complaints with the proper agency. I'll leave their contact information and a link to their website in the description of this video. A legal aid organization that you can reach out to is Lakeshore Legal Aid. They offer legal services to people who don't have a lot of money. Their contact information is in the description of this video as well. One thing to note, we didn't provide you with a huge list of resources to call because we don't want to send you somewhere that's going to waste your time and energy. These organizations are often under-resourced, so you may have to work a bit to get through to them. But the Fair Housing Center called me back within a couple hours of leaving a message, and they are happy to help with these issues. I know this process can be frustrating, but don't give up. If you can afford to find your own lawyer, the State Bar of Michigan has a website where you can search for licensed lawyers. Using the link that's in the description of this video, search for civil rights in the practice area box and then put in your zip code. You can ask the lawyer if they take pro bono cases. Lawyers will sometimes provide their services for free as a community service. The more evidence you have of discrimination, such as text messages, emails, recordings, the easier it will be for the lawyer and the more likely they are to help. You can work out an arrangement where the lawyer only does some of the work and you do the rest in order to save money. The FHA allows you to get your attorney fees paid by the landlord if it is found that you were discriminated against. You can also get any money lost as a result of the discrimination, like if you had to find a more expensive place to live. And you can get money for pain and suffering. I know you're probably worried that if you record the landlord and get legal help, that you will be a target for further bad treatment, and that is a fair concern. First, the FHA makes retaliation by landlords illegal. Further, the landlord will know that you know your rights and you're willing to stand up for yourself, and maybe they will think twice before they mess with you again. They don't want to go to court any more than you do, and they are counting on you not knowing your rights. That's it for our video on housing discrimination in Detroit. If you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button below. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments, and if you see a question in the comments that you have the answer to, please reply. This is a community project, and we can all benefit from each other's knowledge and experience. Share this video with anyone you think might benefit from this information. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.